There is a level of solitude that is so deep it feels like a physical weight. It's the moment you realize that the people you counted on have moved on. The seat next to you is empty. Your phone is silent. Your titles, your status, and your usefulness to others have vanished. In Japan, they call this the way of the Ronin, the masterless warrior. Most men experience this and collapse. They fall into the vortex of despair, thinking they are forgotten. But there is a secret known only to the Zen masters of old. When the world empties your life of people, it is because the divine is preparing to fill your life with power. When a man has no one but God, he is no longer a slave to human expectations. He becomes dangerous because he no longer has anything to lose. Chapter 1. The Collapse of the Tatami. Our story begins with Kenji, a 42-year-old salaryman in Osaka. Kenji lived by Tatami, the public face. He worked 14-hour days, bought the right suits, and took care of everyone. He believed his value was tied to his social network, but in one single year, his tatami shattered. His firm went bankrupt. His wife left him for a man with more stability. His so-called friends stopped inviting him to izakayas because he was no longer useful. Kenji found himself in a tiny, bare apartment with nothing but a Zen meditation cushion and a fading sense of self. He was at absolute zero. He tried to fix it by chasing people, but the more he chased, the faster they ran. He felt like a ghost, until one day he visited a small Zen temple in the mountains of Kyoto and met an old monk who told him, "The cup was not broken, Kenji. It was emptied so you could finally taste the water." Chapter 2. The principle of Ku the Void. Kenji began to study the concept of Ku the Void. In Zen, the void is not nothingness. It is infinite possibility. The monk explained that as long as Kenji had friends to lean on, he was leaning away from his own center. As long as he had a boss to please, he was a puppet. Now, with no one left, Kenji was forced to develop vertical dependence. Musashi wrote in the Goran no Sho, "Do not depend on any particular weapon." Kenji realized this applied to people too. If your peace depends on a woman, a friend, or a crowd, you are unarmed when they leave. But if your peace depends on the Creator, the Source, you are always armed. Kenji stopped looking sideways for approval and started looking inward and upward. Chapter 3. The Psychology of the Silent Ascent. A neurobiologist at the University of Tokyo explains, when a human experiences total social isolation without falling into depression, the brain undergoes a pruning process. The circuits dedicated to social anxiety and performance begin to atrophy. In their place, the circuits for deep focus and self-regulation become hyperactive. Kenji began a protocol of Mushin, the mind of no mind. Every morning at 4 a.m., he sat in Zazen. He didn't pray for his friends to come back. He didn't pray for a new job. He simply sat in the presence of the Kami, the divine force. He realized that God wasn't a person far away in the sky. God was the very breath in his lungs that remained when everyone else left. He started to feel a scary strength, the kind of strength a man gets when he realizes he can survive on absolute zero. Chapter 4. The Kintsugi of the Soul. Kenji's life was like a broken tea bowl. In Japan, they don't throw away broken pottery. They fix it with gold, a practice called Kintsugi. The cracks become the most beautiful part. His loneliness was the crack. The God presence was the gold. Kenji started training his body. He walked the mountain trails. He ate simple miso and rice. He spoke to no one but the divine. He noticed that his external hunger was dying. He no longer needed a like on social media to feel worthy. He no longer needed a woman's touch to feel like a man. He was becoming a self-contained system. When a man reaches this level, he becomes a mirror. People start to fear him because he doesn't need anything from them. Chapter 5. The Unshakable Return. After a year in the wilderness, Kenji returned to the city. He didn't return as the desperate man who left. He returned with Foshin, the still mind. He started a small consultancy. When clients tried to lowball him, he simply walked away. He wasn't afraid of losing the deal because he knew his supply didn't come from the client. When a new woman entered his life, he was honest and stoic. He didn't perform for her. Surprisingly, because he didn't need anyone, everyone wanted to be near him. But Kenji remained different. He was in the world, but not of it. He had learned that the only relationship that cannot be taken from you is the one you forge in the dark, when you have no one but God. If you are in a season of total isolation right now, do not panic. Do not beg for company. This is not your end. This is your ascension. God has cleared the stage of your life because the actors were distracting you from the author. Embrace the way of the Ronin. Build your strength in the silence. Tonight, turn off your phone. Sit in the dark for 20 minutes. Don't check who messaged you. Just breathe and realize you are still here. You are supported by the infinite. Comment below. The void is my strength. Like this video if you are walking the solitary road. Remember, the strongest man in the room is the one who was once left with nothing and realized it was enough.